خمسة أربعة ثلاثة اثنين واحد. اتفضل يا مولانا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد نبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome all of you wherever you are. I welcome you again with your program Fatwa Life. And this is the second part that comes to you on Monday. The first question today, the brother is asking, because of our lack of knowledge and our shortcoming, we have a calamity of the divorce. And when we knew about what we happened, so we asked a mufti in our country. So they gave us a scholar and who knowledgeable with fatwa. So we told him our problem, and we kept in touch with him. Every time we remember something that happened with us, so he will tell us what happened. But because after a while, I go to fatwa website, I found there is a different opinion. And I find so many different opinions, and there is so many different ways of interpreting what happened. So I call other sheikhs and I hear different views. So I decided that I'm gonna stick with the mufti that we asked, and we worked with his advice. But I personally live in a very doubtful time. Is this inspiration from the shaitan? Is this something with the whisper of the shaitan? Do I take any of these fiqh views or what? Well, my brother, the differences in the opinions is so much. So when you are asking, you need to choose the person that gives you the fatwa, the verdict, and to stick with it. So he take his problem for those that he trusts of the religion and the knowledge. If the fatwa of others is confusing him, then he follow whatever he thinks is following the rule of Allah, not his own desire. And the way you do it by looking at the more knowledgeable person and more God conscious. And you know by how many people really endorse him that way. And you could always find that the abundance that are agreeing on one issue, it is better. And don't go between the different scholars or the websites of the fatwa, because this is one of the reasons that people get confused. So find the mufti, more knowledgeable, more biased of Allah. Be truthful of what you tell him. Be accurate, and do not go from one to another. Once you get the fatwa and you know this is the rule of Allah, stick with it. Allah Alam. The second question, a woman, she went to visit one of her family in a different state. She don't want to go back to his husband, and she's asking for divorce. He told her and her family to go back and his kids to his house. Then they have to agree on how they're going to do the divorce and raising the kids. She refused to go back, and she knows that he does abuse her physically, and he does not shortcome her financially, and there is no threat from his part. He is refusing to divorce her until they agree on the kids, and he refused that she stays in that different state. Is the man forced that he will divorce because she's asking for divorce for her own personal reasons, and one of them that he has another wife? This is only mentioned at the end. Or is she forced to go back to her husband and to with the kids? And what is the rule at that time? They've been a year going back and forth. They did not reach anything, and the man is very worried about his kids. The advice never stopped. There's a stubbornness from the wives. He gave her a choice to go back to his city not to his house, and to go to her father, and he refused that his kids stay in a different state, away from him. He did not accept to sign for arbitration. He don't want to go to court, as she's saying. Now he wants to go and take his kid and take them forcefully or with a trick. So, what do we do? I have mentioned whomever gave me this issue to listen to both of them and to do the best to bring them together, to bridge the opinions. We advise. We have no power to force anybody in our verdict unless they are both they accepted the shara arbitration and they did signed by lawyers that makes it binding. If they refused not to sign, that's not a good sign because it shows stubbornness to waste the time of the mashayikh in listening and not follow this. Well, for the marriage, there is two major avenues: to stay together in goodness or to leave in goodness. And there is another way, which is to arbitrate and to bring them together with some of compromising in some of the rights. So the marriage life will continues. Allah said, if a woman felt abuse of her husband or rejection, it's okay for them. Then they will have someone who could arbitrate, and arbitration is good. To bring them together is better. The husband has the right to raise his kids, to follow them, to stay with them. And the righteous woman should never allow this engage her husband with his kids. If they have an agreement not to have another wife and he rejected it, then she can ask for divorce for harm. But if there is no condition, but she was fearful that she's not going to be able to give him his rights as a good husband, even though he is not shortcoming her in everything. And he is the person who is not abusive, he has good manners, but she hates to disbelieve in Islam. Then she could make a khula and to give herself from him and to agree between them on how the khula will be. And in particular, the custody of the kids, which the priority is the kids and their future. And neither father, neither parent should be prevented from raising their kids. And the one who have no custody, he should not be stopped from visitations. And maybe they need to come to a form that bring the marriage together, even in this life, because of the best interest of the kids, and Allah knows the best. The second question, from the story of Sauda, do we understand that divorce is allowed because of the old age? We know that he alayhi salatu wasalam married Sauda as a mercy. It's not that a desire. He married her. She is the second one after Khadija. He was 50. It was it. She was 66 years old. And she's the second one that he married after Khadija. She embraced Islam with her husband. She migrated to Habasha, away from the torture of the disbelievers. And he died. And her family was still disbelievers. So they tested her. So he alayhi salatu wasalam married her to protect her from her family. But she was afraid because of her age that he will divorce her. So offered her. She will give her night because he's loved to Aisha and to keep her as a wife. So she will be as a mother of the believers. She said, I'm getting old and I have no need for men. But I wanted that I will be gathered at the judgment among your wives. So Allah said, if a woman, she's afraid of her husband rejection, it's okay that someone will bring uh, peace between them. Our mother Sauda, she's a very strong woman. She knows what she wants and she go for it. Our mother Aisha says, I've never seen a woman more beloved to me to be in her skin, like to be like her, like Sauda bin Zama, because she's smart. So she put her off strong personality and smart and awareness. So when she gets older, or when she gets old, she made her day to Aisha. He said, "Oh, Messenger of Allah, I'll live my day from you to Aisha." So he used to give her 2 days. When the wives of the Prophet ﷺ made Hajj at the time of, when they did, the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, they made Hajj at the time of Umar. She said, I don't want to marry because I did Hajj with the Prophet ﷺ. I stay in my house like Allah ordered me. And she stays like that, and she died.
امرأة طلقت ثلاثا فقدم لها رجل راغبا فيه إلا لا لم تمكنه نفسه. طلقت ثلاثا فقدم لها رجل راغبا فيها لم تمكنه نفسه قالت له إن طلقتني أعطيك كل شيء أتنازل عن حقوقي. فهل تحل لزوجها الأول؟ لا تحل لزوجها الأول إلا إذا بنى بها زوجها الثاني. فذاقت عسيلته وذاق عسيلتها كما أخبر عن النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. الطلاق بغير مسيس بغير بناء.
The divorce without having the intercourse,
لا يحل المطلقة ثلاثا لزوجها لا حتى تذوق عسيلته.
as the Prophet ﷺ said, until they taste each other, until they have intercourse. Meaning that the marriage of for the person who got divorced more than twice, and she need to marry somebody else, the Prophet ﷺ cursed that person who did that and the person that is used that way. It is like adultery. Do we get sent if we voted for like public utility for like schools and housing, or we going to get sent because of the raising of taxes and all of this not Islamic? My brother, yes, it's you are confused, my brother. May Allah guide you. You are trying to bring what is justice. You are trying to get what is best to the community. You're trying to advance what is the best out of the goodness and to avoid what is the worst. What people are getting from our support is more beneficial to our brothers. Make your intention always that you represent the oppressed and get in. If you cannot take that oppression from him, at least to reduce it. To help the oppressed into trying to comfort his suffering, and never to help an oppressor into his aggression, and keep that intention at all the time and everything you do, because your action will not stop from. There's everything that could have some kind of harm, but we could bring so many other benefits. The Sharia established on to bring in the best of the interest and to push down the worst of evil. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal guide us and support and success. What is the rule about voting for local someone who is very he supports the Muslim issues, and but he's still with the homeless, and so again this is something that you have to measure the that person with his support to homosexuality, and we reject that, but we still his support to stop the war, to save the lives is more important than this support of the LBGT. So the best interest is his support to the Muslims into stopping the war is more prior to even mention and to stop this massacre that we are all witnessing. It is much bigger than his support to LBGT. This is a matter of best effort. I could be good in what I'm saying. I could be wrong. If I did not get the reward of the right opinion, at least I should not be prevented from the right of the best effort. There's nothing black or white or day and night. This is something in the gray area, which is, as the Prophet ﷺ said, these are doubtful things that a lot of people don't know. How about the voting for to control the home prices and the medicine? But about the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah is the one who decides the price. Oh, my brother, leave. It is originally leave people to do whatever they want with the Prophet on how much their prices are, like they want. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, it was the commodity was high, and he said, they were told him, don't you reduce the price? He said, don't, it is Allah. Allah is the one who raise and put people down. I don't want nothing to meet Allah and somebody say that I've done wrong. But the scholars, they accepted that the authority to force the moderate price when people are getting greedy, when people are trying to monopolize certain items, because he ﷺ said it was a right on Allah for someone who is trying to oppress Muslims with the prices, that Allah will touch him with the torment at the day of judgment. So any tool that is used to bring the prices down to support the millions who are working hard, who don't get a break, this is definitely a way from the Sharia to allow you to put some kind of control. So don't take one hadith that is at the time of ease, because the time of hardship it's different rules applies. When people's hearts has no mercy and people are trying to um, try to monopolize the prices and to take advantage of the need, that's where it is alright to stop this kind of madness or put a limit to this kind of. But so this is actually with the Sharia laws, not against it. Is the talk outside Quran or tasbih without during the prayers makes you have to take repeat the prayer? No, you just make sujood sahwi. So it is by mistake where you forgot. It's okay. Just make the sujood sahwi. Is it allowed after make saying tashahhud to complain to Allah with supplication and ask for Allah's forgiveness? You do the sunnah and whatever it is you like. Amma take the zakah from people because they trust him, and he take it to the people with all trust to those who deserve it. Can he take some of the zakah because he's among those who working on it? No, wait. You have to wait. Meaning an established institution, that is the one that's going to take part of the zakah for those who work on it. But he is the first and everything? No, he can't. Only Allah could do that. Yeah. And nobody put you accountable and nobody could see you? No. If you don't do that, leave the zakah to an institution, and they said, I am your representative and distribute to people. Give me part of it since I am working on it. And they could give you, I could stop you. Because they could find someone who could do it free. Who is going to control how much you take? Who's going to give you the testifying that you done right? No one. That you will be the judge and the ruler, and you can't be the judge and the prosecutor and the policeman. You have to have some kind of accountability. Someone he sell a product in that expired in his grocery store. It does not violate the law that he does that. Well, depends on the product. Sometimes some of these things they have 6 more months to do. So if that matter, it is what going on. So I hope that you have an excuse of selling it at the time will not harm you to the one who buys, and it's not going to violate any law. The rule about shaking the head up or down, or like you bend down. The ruku' is when you tent all the way. That is not allowed except to Allah Azza wa Jal. Anything. So you might be violating the rule, but it's not worshiping someone else. Because no one can say that you worship some beside Allah. But we say the ruku' and sujood, they cannot be except to Allah Azza wa Jal. And to prostrate, as you know, you do in the prayers. Anything below it's not allowed. I shouldn't. It's not proper. So we need to stop on it. You don't bend to nobody. When is the time of Jum'ah prayer and when it stops? You look at the calendar of your country and you know when the Jum'ah prayer starts. People don't look at the heavens to see when the sun goes into start to bend down, then it is the scholars already did a lot of effort into this, so don't go into the details and just accept the time that people, the researchers did. So go back to the calendar that you have. You know exactly the time of the prayers. Allah Alam. What does that mean that the punishment of this this ummah in this life? Does that it? It means that it is more rush to it in this life. To Allah will wipe their sins, but there's definitely going to stay some of the sins. We're not gonna be done in this life. You're going to be punished in the. Without doubt, some of the people will enter the fire from the owner of the pig, and when they are burned, and then they will be interested, and they will be getting out. They will go to the river of life, and then they enter paradise. The people of Jannah, they'll say these are the Jahannamiyun, because they were in Jahannam. No, but they are the ones that Allah Azza wa Jal freed. Can you explain the niqab if the woman put it in one area and not to put it to stop the problem? Whoever wants to say that it is obligation, then she needs to wear it at any time. So you stop at when she thinks about the niqab, whether it is obligation or is it just voluntarily. And that's why she covered it sometimes, that she don't need to, whenever she feels like she has to cover her face. Last question. We're going to conclude with it. The brother said, I took charity on 1,000 jini on. Do I get the same reward of my mother and father?
لا تحسب الأمور في التعامل مع الله على هذا اللحن. أحسن إلى أمك وأبيك بالصدقة.
Do good to your parents to in charity and wait from Allah's giving to you. If you are sincere in your attention, Allah Azza wa Jalla and open, He spend anything He wish, and no one can stop Allah Azza wa Jalla. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.